The hottest pop culture stories of the day, like Lisa Rinna finally comes out and speaks about the conversation about being drugged at the Traitors premiere. Plus, we have even more Shia drama. This is Hot to Go. I'm Brittany.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Lauren.
And Lisa Rinna finally said something. As we know, a couple days ago, there was a story that was put out, most likely by Colton Underwood, that Lisa Rinna had been roofied. And it was like, what? And they said, yep, at the Traitors premiere, Lisa Rinna was definitely drugged. And Colton was like, kind of putting it in words where it sounded like he saved her.
Yeah, I think his exact words were like, and the way it was reported is that sources close to the situation say Colton Underwood was so close to her all night, he was the one to recognize that this is what happened. So he's the one who alerted her team and got her help.
Which, keep in mind, her husband's at this event.
Yeah, her husband's there.
There's photos of her sitting next to her husband as they're watching the Traitors premiere. There's like a lot of things here. So Lisa Rinna finally comes out and talks about it. Mm-hmm. She hadn't said anything prior, but she was on, what show was she on? Good Day New York. And they were asking her that what had happened. And she said that, I'm not kidding. I had fentanyl and high levels of amphetamines and other things when she went to the hospital. They found all these high doses of the stuff that she hadn't taken.
Yep.
But I can't talk a lot about it because we're still dealing with it. It was leaked and my team is dealing with it now. She said, luckily my husband, Harry Hamlin, was there and able to get me out of there quickly.
Now, the story also said at the end, because the one conversation we had is you're at the premiere of Traitors. Like, who do you think, again, when we originally thought this was a roofing like situation, who do you think would have done this? It says at the end of the article, again, like Brittany just said, I don't want to comment on it. There's still some conversations ongoing about it and about the fact that it was leaked. But she also said in the interview, or in the quote, she's declined to say who she thinks might have allegedly slipped her said fentanyl.
Oh, my God.
So it's kind of dark. It's kind of wild. And it is the response we were waiting to get from her. Because, again, I don't think she loved, especially the way that sounded, she didn't love the fact that Colton was the one who decided to run with this story even before she did.
Yeah, I think there's a lot there, too. Because, like, Colton Underwood is getting a lot of backlash from the Traitors. They talked about him weaponizing his sexuality against people. They talked about just like in general, the idea that nobody really talks about that he's got these stalking charges. And that was something that, a lot of people felt like the more they dug into Colton, the more they went, should he even be allowed on TV as our Traitors in general? So much so that when all the backlash came out, he was supposed to do an interview on Watch What Happens Live, and they pulled him.
Wow.
They don't know if, I don't actually know if he was like, I don't want to do it, or if they were like, we don't want you to do this.
And what day was this? When was this?
This was, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay, I got it. I wasn't sure if it was after he was eliminated on the show or after the reunion, because there were a lot of stories about the fact that he kind of left abruptly from the reunion. Now, Lisa Rinna has gone on to say if that happened, she wasn't aware of it. It didn't happen when she saw it, but she did make the comment about him unfollowing her, and then she did not hesitate to bring up the stalking situation again and again and again.
Yeah.
This is when she was trying to sell her new book.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, he's not a fan favorite. And then on top of it, I feel like it doesn't look great that he's in a place of, oh yeah, she was drugged. Like, why? That's not yours to speak on, especially like while she's still in it, while she's still dealing with it.
So she made no mention of him at all in this.
Not at all. Didn't say a word. And actually said she thanks her husband, Harry Hamlin, for being there to help her get the help that she needed. So
do you think he was trying to like feel like he was a knight in shining armor?
Yeah.
And then it just...
Yeah, I think just the idea that he is getting all this bad publicity, he is getting all these comments, these people not feeling great about him. And oh, by the way, we're about to get the reunion. So we'll see. Maybe tonight there's going to be even more things said about him and about his character on this show that he was trying to get ahead of.
Yeah.
So we'll all see. Traitors finale is tonight, and the reunion will follow right after.
I'm so excited.
We also got more word about Shia LaBeouf. you may remember that Shia LaBeouf, we most recently heard the fact that Shia was allegedly out there having a party, having a really good time during Mardi Gras, and he, the whole headbutting situation. Brittany's favorite part, he was T-Rex headbutting people.
Put his hands in his shirt as if you're really freezing, and then was walking around using his head as a weapon.
Yeah, he was. Well, we got some more details. Again, even more drama around this. Cops, according to sources, were called to his New Orleans home before all of this went down at Mardi Gras due to alleged fight between exes.
Okay. Which exes?
Well, that is what, when you go into it with further detail, it sounds like this is a situation where it was whoever he had been currently with. We're not talking about Mia Goth. This is not a Mia Goth situation. We did hear audio from a woman who claimed she had been dating Shia LaBeouf since like last August, and that he was very abusive to her. Now, or had some audio clips of him being abusive to her. Documents are showing that the call for service to his home to Shia LaBeouf for this alleged incident came in February, and that an unnamed man and his ex-girlfriend. Now, according to the police reports, they say the man told the police inside that his girlfriend, he heard a knock at the door, saw that his girlfriend was entering the home and running towards him. Now, it also sounded like this woman, and Shia LaBeouf was aware that this woman had some previous run-ins with the law, including ones that had to do with a weapon. Like she had a knife on her in these past run-ins with the law.
I think this all goes back to Shia. I think we need to make some good decisions.
Yeah.
Like, I know these, it just always goes back to a place of like, I mean, we saw the club hookup, we saw the fighting, we saw it's like, hey, Shia, let's take a beat. These are not probably the idea that you have women fighting in your house. The idea that like it all leads back, all roads, all chaos leads back to Shia. I think that we got to like start looking into the idea of, is this really what we want?
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf said, and these were when the cops were talking to him, there's, I guess, 5 risk questions that are normally asked in a domestic violence situation like this. And he told them that he wasn't sure if his ex would injure or kill him if they left, and that he, again, told cops that she had been arrested previously for stabbing someone.
And I'm not trying to victim blame. I'm just like, he just keeps going to a place of like, okay, why are you with this person? What is going on? Like, get them out of your house. That's terrifying, obviously. Like, it's scary.
And the narrative that we have heard is that Shia LaBeouf has decided to move to New Orleans after the fallout from his relationship with Mia Goth. Now, again, this is what we've been told, but it's the belief that he was trying to work on himself, and he was trying to, I guess he's closer to family. He's got family that's down there. I don't know who, I don't know what family, but
they don't want to admit it.
Yeah, they probably don't want to admit it. But the idea is that he had somebody in his life that was going to be a better influence for him, because again, he has talked about his sobriety issues. He has talked about the fact that, things were good for a while, and we heard some horrific stories about Shia LaBeouf years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then things that he dealt with seemed like he had his life at least more in check, that we weren't seeing him on the world stage. And now all of a sudden he's everywhere, and he's having a crash out like we haven't seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think that it's not going to get better anytime soon unless he like starts wanting to deal with it. But the fact that literally the day after he was in jail, he was back on the streets and kind of going, like, laughing at it. He doesn't want to be told what to do. And I get it. Like, he came from a rough start.
Yeah.
He had a family that didn't treat him well. He has a real authority problem because his dad really used him as a cash cow, and there was a lot of pressure on him as a kid. And when you don't have that foundation, it's just scary. So, yeah.
So there you go. That's the latest with Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, we got to talk about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's son, Maddox. Now, we have had a couple of their offspring drop the pit.
Yeah.
So, as you know, Maddox is Jolie Pitt, has both last names of both parents. Well, officially, the film that Maddox was involved in, he was assistant director on Couture, the drama starring Angelina. They debuted in a French movie theater yesterday, and Maddox's name is Maddox Jolie drops the pit officially.
Wow. Yet another one.
Yet another pit has fallen. This is on the heels of another kid. Who was it? I can't remember the first.
Oh, it was Pax, I think.
Shiloh.
Oh, no. Shiloh did? Okay.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, Shiloh Jolie. Yep.
Shiloh, because he was working on that Broadway thing. Shiloh had dropped the pit. And it doesn't mean they legally have, but it does say something when they're in their field and they're like, this is the last name I want to go by.
It looks like Vivian did actually as well. So this would be, I think, the third. Yes.
Yeah.
So again, and clearly, you just talked about Shia LaBeouf and what his father and things he went through. But yeah, this idea that we've heard the narrative, we heard the stories, we know what Brad Pitt was like in some of those instances and some of the things that happened, and one of the reasons why it might make sense. And we're seeing him run around the world, and whether right, wrong, we don't know all of the backstory, but it seems like Angelina Jolie is the one that is certainly the constant in these kids' life when Brad certainly is not.
It's saying something because the reality of it is it doesn't hurt their career or hurt their anything to have both Jolie and Pitt.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who's gone, it's a statement. Mm-hmm. It's saying something. And when you come out going, I don't even want, even though this is a huge name in Hollywood, and they're talking about at least two of the kids are in the entertainment field, and they're going to a place of, no. Like, that's saying something.
And separating themselves maybe a little bit from the two of them, probably not a bad idea. And we've seen Pax go through some struggles.
Yes.
And again, you've got the whole Nepo baby conversation and all these people that, yes, you do have these advantages, but you also find yourself, like you said, in a lot of pitfalls and a lot of different things. You can easily find yourself going down maybe the wrong path because of what is available to you and what your name is and who you are. And we've seen Pax have some run-ins where he twice, I think, has gotten into crashes on e-bikes. We've seen him walk out of bars and things, completely. I think it was Chateau Marymount where he walked out of the club like needing help because he was just so out of it right as he was right around 21 years old. So it's we're all going to go through that, and when you're a celebrity, you're going to go through it, and in a very publicized way. But it's not a shock they're trying to separate themselves, at least from Brad.
Smart, you're right. Okay, we've got somebody claiming Botox, schmotox. Mm-hmm. Think about bangs. Jennifer Garner said that she was actually, well, first off, holy buckets, the Kelseys get all the good guests. What the hell? This is Kylie Kelsey on Not Gonna Lie podcast. Jennifer Garner was on there. And she said that right now I am not going to get Botox. I've tried it. It just completely freezes my forehead. And once you're in the acting field, she feels like that is not what she's going for. So she doesn't want Botox head. And she's like, I'm telling my kids that, but I also am at a place of I might want a facelift at some point.
Okay.
And so it's just really interesting. It's the idea of like, she is. I first thought she was not going to say she wants Botox because she's very much so Miss like natural path.
Sure.
Like let's age naturally. And we have heard some of those things that she said. But then I'm like, oh, like this is literally just her going, yeah, the only reason I'm not doing Botox is it doesn't help me with my job, which we've seen Lindsay Lohan.
Yes, you know exactly where we're going because we were making fun of her earlier today. Not making fun. Yeah, we were making fun of her.
Yes, we were.
Earlier today, where you may remember she was in that movie, that Christmas movie, and she basically had to have the line, I'm crying now because I'm sad. Because you couldn't actually tell because of all of the Botox.
Yeah, she literally had a stone cold face and said, now I'm crying.
This is sad me.
This is me sad.
It looks just like happy me.
This is me sad.
I can't differentiate the two.
I am sad. Wah, wah. Yes. Her face didn't move.
It didn't.
And like, that's fine. I get it. And like Jennifer Garner is the type that probably, I don't know what like project she's working on, but it must be
everything. She's got 8 different projects in the works.
Really?
Oh, she's doing a ton of stuff. She's going to be.
Her.
Yeah, she's got. She's had a lot of roles that have kind of just dropped, but apparently there's a Mrs. Claus where I think she's playing Mrs. Claus. There's The Good Life, 2 different TV shows, TV series, and 5 different movies.
Is Mrs. Claus a role you want or don't want?
I wouldn't want it.
Why, Lauren? Tell us.
I just, it's like sidekick, but it's the worst. Aren't there like all these scandals that like Mr. Claus is cheating on Mrs. Claus? I don't want to be associated with that.
There's scandals about Mr. Santa's cheating?
Hey, guys, we're pivoting. Tell us about that.
No, it's like I saw like mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah.
That one, right here. I'm like, all right, well,
yeah.
We got to
Mrs.
talk.
Claus, they leave her in North Pole and you don't know what's happening the whole night.
We got to talk after the show. But this movie is actually called Mrs. Claus. So I think she's going to be the star of it, at least.
I better be, because you're right, Lauren. It's so
It's going to
long.
be cheating scandals, probably.
It probably will.
It's going to be a heroic arc, a heroine.
It's
She's
just
going to catch him and kill him.
And then she's Claus.
It's basically Priscilla. Like, it's going to be
Totally.
her sitting at home like, he's gone again. What has he
Totally.
been doing this whole time?
She gets one night to herself every
They show
year.
the women are behind it all.
Oh,
and that
my
he's
goodness.
a fraud.
Yeah,
Who
there is no
knows?
Mr. Claus.
But the facelift, it's just, she's against Botox because it'll prohibit some like natural emotions. Right, cool. She's 53. Is she going to get a facelift to look younger and then get younger roles? Or like, I feel like there's going to be some restriction for a facelift as well, right?
She's going to do the Mrs. Claus, get that bang, and then look snatched as hell and be a go ahead and be Mrs. Claus's grandkid next in the sequel. All right, it is time.
It's hot to blow.
We head on over to Mike Ganger, the co-host today, but normally the producer, but always the blind item expert. What secret on the internet might be the next to blow?
There is a secret floating around the internet. Sometimes blind items, normally they're in the deepest, darkest spots of the web. You got to kind of go get them and kind of dig them out. This one is kind of starting to get some more and more steam, and it almost feels like we might get one of these individuals having to comment whether or not this blind item is about them, because there's a rumor that a very high-profile late-night talk show host is about to have the tea spilled that 5 years ago he hooked up with a member of the audience and as a result has a pair of 5-year-old twins.
What? What? Who is this?
Well, that's the big question, because the blind item obviously doesn't say who it is. I will just say there's one person when it comes to the world of late night talk shows that we talk about essentially every 3 to 6 months about a cheating scandal and about the fact that maybe he has been a little extra with some of the staff members that work on this particular show. And that person is Jimmy Fallon.
And he's also recently, I think about like a year and some change, was under a lot of scrutiny because it was a hostile work environment. His drinking had gotten out of control.
Yeah, there was a lot of allegations about, that was actually there were a couple of issues, actually. You remember when he did the thing with his finger, where his finger was all mangled 10 years ago? And I guess what happened is he claimed that he fell, and I think he connected his finger on the cabinet or something. It was one of those things where the finger basically got almost ripped off completely because his ring was on. But other people are like, yeah, that had something to do with his drinking. There's been lots of reports, actually 5 different, I'm looking at it right now, there's 5 different either workplace allegations, toxic workplace allegations, or out of control drinking behavior allegations.
Yeah.
Since 2015.
Because I remember that expose came out right before Thanksgiving parade that he performed at.
Yeah.
About a year and a half ago or so. And it was, he showed up, it was like Christmas every day of the year or whatever, and he was singing it, and he looked like crap.
Yeah.
Like he looked hungover, and he was like, you could just tell he was like sweating out alcohol. You know, that's like a bad sign when even on the parade, you're like, why doesn't he take his sunglasses off? And oh my goodness. And it was all these things. It was like the reckoning of Jimmy Fallon. So you thought maybe after all that, he was going to kind of get it back together, because he addressed the article. I think the Times wrote it up.
Yeah. He apologized.
On his show,
it was actually a Rolling Stone article. And he apologized to his staff on Zoom, saying it's embarrassing and I feel bad and I want the show to be fun and I want it to be inclusive for everybody. And so essentially it wasn't just the tabloid running. Somebody came up forward and said, this is what's happening. And he owned it. He said, I'm sorry that this is the environment that's been created.
And I can only bring my own perspective of what I've dealt with in life is it was giving this person's drinking a lot, because a lot of the articles that people were, or the interviews they did, and they were all under aliases
Yeah.
were like, I don't know what I'm walking into every day. I could have happy-go-lucky, like everybody gets a freaky, Ray-Ban sunglasses, or I can't even talk to him without him losing it. And it felt really like somebody who's drinking too much. You know what I mean? Like high highs, low lows, and you don't know what you're like. That's the vibe it felt. So it did feel like maybe, I don't know, the twins of it all. Oh my God. Well, we're going to have to keep an eye on this story, Mike.
We certainly will keep an eye on it, and we will let you know. But again, it could be any of the late night folks. So again, there's a little smoke. We'll see if this fire actually, anything comes of it. Maybe Jimmy Fallon's just getting it because he seems like the most likely suspect. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
I just watched Seth Meyers have his kids on, and they were the cutest thing in the world. So if it's him, please don't tell me.
Can I pivot on our hot mess?
Yeah.
Can we go ahead and do the hot mess sounder here?
It's hot mess.
What are you taking?
We're pivoting here because we have a follow-up from a story we haven't talked about on Hot to Go, but we have talked about it on the extended radio show. Pink.
What's happening?
If you just joining us now, earlier today, Pink and Carrie Hart reportedly have been separated, or have reportedly separated, according to a People article that then TMZ went ahead and ran with.
Oh.
Pink separates from Carrie Hart for second time in 20 years. Sources exclusively tell People. Now, what do we say when it's a People article?
The call is coming from inside the house.
Call something from inside the house, and usually, and if it's an exclusive People article, they're not wrong.
No, literally the celebrity or their team had reached out to them.
Pink says, I don't know, this is completely false. According to Pink, they have, quote, fallen victim to fake news. The star took to Instagram to bash the split rumors, saying that she and Carrie Hart are not separated, and reports indicating that they are have zero basis in reality. What happened here?
What? Where? I'm dying. Where did you put this?
On her Instagram. So you can check out her Instagram right now, but she put that out there. And again, they're all running with it now. I don't recall many times where a People article from an exclusive source gets posted and then all of a sudden gets debunked immediately by the celebrity.
Oh my God. Did they pull the article?
No, the People article is still there. If you go to TMZ, you can find a link to all of them. But the Pink separates from Carrie Hart for second time in 20 years of marriage, source exclusive. That is still posted.
That's still posted in one of the top stories on Celebrity or on People right now. All about Pink and Carrie Hart's two kids, Willow and Jameson. So for some reason, that is ahead, like on the front page over.
If you scroll down, it's like the seventh story right now. There are 883 comments in celebrity breakups. Wow. There's something happening.
So crazy.
Yeah.
So this People article, the need to know section wrote, Pink and Carrie Hart share kids, Willow and Jameson. Fact.
Yeah.
Second bullet point, the singer and the former pro motocross racer separated after 20 years of marriage, a source told People in February 2026. Last bullet point, Pink
What are you going for?
subsequently
There you go.
called the separation fake news.
It's fake news.
Pink called the
Pink
separation
herself.
fake news. So now they're writing an article with quoting themselves as the source and then also saying Pink saying it's not true.
So our hot mess today is People, or maybe, no, it's People, but also the people behind, somebody screwed up.
Somebody screwed up.
Because this call, again, came from either Carrie Hart or came from Pink or their people. I would not be surprised if, again, talk about where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, there has been, you may say to yourself, wait a minute, doesn't this sound familiar? The song So What was basically about him cheating back 2 years into their relationship. So they separated back in 2006. Or no, they got together in 2006. They separated in 2008. The song So What came out a couple of months after that. And then they eventually reconciled in 2009, have been together ever since.
Do you know what she wrote?
What'd she write?
So I was just alerted to the fact that I'm separated from my husband. I didn't know. Thank you for letting me know. Would you like to tell our children? My 14 and 9-year-old are also unaware. Do you want to talk about my accomplishments, or do you only want to talk about my supposed demise? So fake, new, not true. I love you all. Do you want to talk about my accomplishments?
I mean, she didn't say anything about Carrie in there.
She just wrote that. She said it's not true.
I know.
I didn't know. Thank you for letting.
This might have been how she found out. Somebody talked to him. I think there's more to this story we're going to be talking about tomorrow. That's all I can say.
I know.
There's going to be something else about this coming out.
It's messy, and she wrote this quick because of all the errors in it. It is messy boots.
We never see an exclusive. Whenever people run with an exclusive story like that, if there isn't some, I mean, this is a somebody high profile ran this.
Maybe it was like the kids, like a prank phone call.
There you go.
You know?
I love that, using their stationery, like, let's stir things up.
Let's send a little letter to TMZ.
I love seeing my name in articles. I think that you're right. This is just like a really formal prank from the kids.
Or this is a situation where they've probably been separated for a while. I don't know. There's something here. There's definitely something here that we'll wait to find out.
It's too many things.
Too many things.
And then on top of it, it's people. Oh my God, tell us what you think. Is this all a ruse? Is Pink and Carrie divorced? Is people losing their minds? Tell us in the comments. We're dying to know. I'm dying to know. We love you. So like, subscribe, all the things here on the YouTube.